going against the chef.
True.
If it was any other tower, I would say, okay, I think that's totally fine, totally reasonable. But going against the chef, I don't know. I like applying a little bit of pressure when the chef is still cooking.
All right, guys. Next best of 3, Wallace versus Ryley. Honestly, one of the most important ones of the day. I could see both of these players winning the tournament this weekend and making it to World Finals. Ryley just going straight with the Pancake Tower here, Josh. Going straight with the, probably it looks like to be Golem actually instead of the Gob Giant in this situation.
I gotta say, definitely waiting to see the Golem get played. I think that would be so much fun. Wallace on the other side, you know, a lot of people have a lot of love for Graveyard. Maybe I've just been, I've witnessed one of the best to ever do it for the last 7 years, and I'm super bored of it. So maybe I'm just a hater in that way, but definitely excited to see if there's going to be a Golem placed on the map. And it really is looking like that's the deck so far.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty simple. I mean, Ryley's basically... Wait, he messed up the Pancake, though.
Yeah.
You want to get the levels 12 God Machine, but instead with the Mini P.E.K.K.A. But yeah, he's basically just trying to get both of his Evo Furnace and his Evo Baby Dragon cycle. And then we'll probably just see a Golem drop in the back. We'll see what Wallace is going to do. He's doing a good job of cycling to that Evo Valk to try and prepare for defense.
Yeah, that Goblin Machine, even though it was only the level 11 Goblin Machine, it got so much value. And an unfortunate Berserker coming in from Wallace, definitely not recognizing his opponent's cycle, what he was going to try and respond with. And those minions, I mean, I think I saw a graphic, or I at least heard about it, but like minions are going to be one of the top 3, top 4 cards used on ladder. There's a reason. They are so strong, and that one little buff to the range of the hits, I mean, it just changed the card entirely. It is so strong now.
Okay, Evo Valkyrie on the defense. This is the question. Is Evo Valk going to get the job done? Vines from both players to freeze the Evo Valk, but also to freeze everything else. And I think the Evo Valk has done it. Look at this Evo Valkyrie value. Oh my goodness. And that right there is why this Graveyard deck is so good in this meta.
I couldn't figure out who was playing the Vines until I realized both of them were doing it at the exact same time. Ryley resetting with the Goblin Machine, and I mean, it feels like Goblin Machine is one of those cards where when you have it in cycle, just play it. You are getting 5 elixir worth of value every single time.
It's true. It doesn't lock onto the Furnace in this situation, though. I honestly thought it would splash. The splash radius is pretty wild. Furnace is probably going to get taken down by this Baby Drag, though. This is a little bit more difficult for a defense for us. He doesn't have his Valkyrie Evo in cycle, but Ryley doesn't have the Evo Baby Drag to speed everything up either, and he does have the Evo Furnace. So the defense is looking solid. Wallace seemingly completely under control so far.
Yeah, and the problem with this Golem deck, where as strong as it is, and you know, certain matchups you're just gonna completely overwhelm, you struggle so much against these absolute control decks like this one. Evo Valk, with the help of the Vines, just gonna clean up everything so nicely. And I mean, it's just tough. You don't really have that good an answer. Although right there, that was a beautiful cleanup with the Bar Barrel and the minions. I didn't expect to see that, but it's just so hard to get damage and so hard to get through.
Yeah, another Golem in the back. Ryley's going to continue to try to get this breakthrough. I think this is a good situation for him, though. Because I think he has both of the Evos in cycle. Wallace has neither right now. You think he's trying... No, he's not even back to Evo Valk here. And Mini P.E.K.K.A is going to drop. We're going to see Baby Drag. Okay, I was wrong. He actually doesn't have Evo Baby Drag. He must have used on defense then. That kind of makes his offense a lot more difficult to break through. Even with the level 12 God Machine. Without the speed up, it's not really going to work out very well for him here.
Yeah, and I want to say that maybe Ryley should think about going opposite lane, but I think at this point, you got to go same lane. You got to hope the Goblin Machine starts to lock onto everything. And I like the potential... Wow! I like the potential of trying to get the Mini P.E.K.K.A in there, but I don't know if that was offensive and defensive Vines being used. It just feels like both of these players are cycling it with no regard to if it even should be played. And right there, that beautiful Vines on defense, you can't get through Wallace's brilliant defense with this Graveyard.
Oh my gosh! This is like the first time I've seen this Golem deck lose in like 2 weeks. I'm not even kidding. No, I'm just kidding. No, I was kidding, but really well played from Wallace there with the Valkyrie Evo, and I think you're absolutely right. It was insane. It happened twice this game where the Vivo Valkyrie is dropping on defense, and both players are playing Vines exact same moment. You know, like Ryley plays the Vines on the Evo Valk because he knows that he needs to take that card out, but then Wallace knows that he's gonna Vine his Evo Valk, so he's Vining the same exact time to try to get the Valkyrie Evo to get value. And what ends up happening is that they just basically cancel out completely with the Vines. But I think Wallace's Vines get a little bit more value because he's hitting multiple units instead of just the Valkyrie. And then as the freeze from both of the Vines kind of wear out, Evo Valkyrie comes back alive and just kind of rolls everything up. It's insane. But yeah, really well played from Wallace to make that happen.
Yeah, the problem is you don't really have any offensive pressure with your spells when you're running that golem deck. And so when both players are utilizing the Vines, I mean, Ryley's, his opponent, Wallace is just going to be using it where you're going to be able to stack up Spear Goblins with the Goblin Hut. It's within that range. And so now not only are you freezing, not only are you defending with with all these other cards, you're all of a sudden you've got 8 different Spear Goblins on top of the board. And as good as the Goblin Machine is, its splash radius, it feels like it should do more at certain times. And the Spear Goblins are so spread out that it's just so hard to overwhelm like you often will with those type of golem decks.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good call. I think that the God Machine definitely did have some struggles targeting those furnaces. That's what it really comes down to, right? If you can get that God Machine plus Vines to take out the furnace with that level up on the God Machine, then you're really cooking. But Wallace knows that, so he's done a great job also with like using the Berserker and using the Goblet Spear Gobs and just making sure that God Machine always has some.
Look at that overall matchup. There's 2 different things that I can look at. And one, it would be maybe you try and stack less troops where the Vines aren't really getting that much value. Like maybe you try and go with like the Furnace at the bridge to try and snipe everything and the minions in tow. That could have been an answer. Or you just go split lane pressure. I feel like I would have liked to see either one of those two. But at the end of the day, the Goblin Hut is just such a terrible matchup for him, and it was incredibly difficult. Here we are, game number 2, Ryley using the Minion Horde. I gotta say, it is such a joy to have the Minion Horde back in the meta. It's definitely one of my favorite cards of all time. And, you know,
really?
Yeah, I used to use it with 3 Musketeers, Goblin King, Minion Horde, Miner. So it's got a special place in my heart to see it back in the meta.
Rip 3 Musketeers. Do you think that 3 Musketeers will ever get a rework? Are you hoping for one?
I feel like they're gonna wait. They're gonna wait like 6 years. I'm gonna announce it on. They're gonna wait like 12 years. I'm gonna announce it on Twitter. I'm gonna be almost 40 years old, and I'm gonna say, hey, I think I might have to be done with Clash Royale. And then they're gonna say, all right, he's gone. Let's bring it back. I genuinely think that's what's gonna happen with it.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna be right there with you, man. I'm waiting for E-Giant to get an Evo. That'll probably be another 12 years as well. But looking at game number 2 here, Ryley needs to win this, guys, or else Wallace is just taking this best of 3, easy peasy. We'll see. You have a couple weird decks actually: Evo Witch, Mortar Miner, Minion Horde, and Wallace with an Evo Inferno Drag. We don't see too much of that with the Evo Mega Knight as well.
So the Minion Horde was taken down to just 1 shot apiece, but the minions in response from Wallace not actually able to take it out. So beautiful push and kind of a really tough interaction. I expected the minions to be able to take it out.
Yeah, I do wonder if the Minion Horde is just gonna kind of win right the game here. Like with the Rage being the only way to deal with it, I mean, a lot of the time it's just not enough. Maybe like Rage plus minions, or I guess Rage plus Ram Rider could deal with it potentially. It's a big push.
Yeah, I love the idea of the Miner going back. I don't know if it's going to work. It will. The Mega Knight is going to target the Miner, and a beautiful cleanup. I mean, this is kind of exactly what you were saying. Wallace doesn't have the best answer ever. And I mean, I think this might just be game. He's not even going to try and respond. Ryley going to take game number 2. It was over as soon as the match started. That Minion Horde put in work. What an MVP.
Not gonna lie, I was having so much fun casting the tournament. Everyone's using like Hog, Drill, Royal Giant, and as soon as we get to the next round here, we're back, baby. We got Golem God Machine, we got Minion Horde Miner, we got Mega Knights. Oh my goodness, this is yeah. Tell me what you got.
If you're not willing, you gotta do what you gotta do.
And it's just gonna straight up.
It's one of the few games that I've when the Evo is around. Minion Horde took it out fast.
He can't go for a game in his. I think that's one of those for Wallace.
Favorite parts of Clash Royale.
Both players probably taking their 1. So this game ended up losing.
A lot of these decks, if you don't have 8 2 like the exact 8 cards that work within the meta, the deck just doesn't work. So the dual format, always such a joy to watch, such a joy to commentate over, because, you know, when these players finally think of that incredibly creative deck, it feels like we're all celebrating because you know
Yeah.
they just created a painting, and
Yeah.
it's just a beautiful thing to witness. Game 3 underway. Ryley going to go with the absolutely insanely quick cycle. Skeleton Barrel, Ice Spirit, Skelly's log so far. Wallace on the other side. Miner, Mother Witch. When you take a look at these two decks, Ryley just used a mortar deck. So what is he using? Is this, and he's already used Miner as well.
Like, I'm not even kidding. I think he just has Rocket last card. I think he's using Evo Skelly Barrel Rocket Cycle. The only other thing I think it could maybe be is like maybe a Goblin Barrel, but I kind of doubt it. I think he's just straight up using Rocket Cycle. Wallace, on the other hand, actually very similar. So it's Miner Rocket versus Evo Skelly Barrel Rocket, except Wallace does have that Mother Witch.
Yeah, and I mean, the Mother Witch going against the Skeleton Barrel, you always got to be licking your lips when you see that kind of matchup for the Mother Witch. So it's going to be interesting to see how Ryley wants to kind of work around that. And we are now 15 seconds away from Double Elixir. Both of these players have kind of recognized what their opponents are playing. And right there, does he get the right timing?
Wow.
He does. Dark Prince taken off the map.
Dark Prince taken off the map, and it forces Ryley to spend more Elixir on this Dark Prince as well. Skeletons, not technically necessary, but I do not blame him for playing that there. And then setting up a Tesla as well. Interesting.
So Dark Prince will be able to take out the Miner before it gets too much damage. But I mean, the way Wallace has set this up, yeah, I was thinking that it had to be the case. You have to get the offensive pressure. But I mean, when you take a look at this matchup, Wallace cycles almost as quickly as Ryley. And I mean, it's basically the exact same decks, but instead of Skeleton Barrel, he has direct damage on top of the tower. And then he also has the Mother Witch. I don't... This is an incredible matchup for Wallace.
No, yeah, I agree. I think that Wallace is in a pretty good situation. I'm trying to think of a way that Ryley wins this. Like maybe he actually needs to go Evo Skelly Barrel pre-rocket onto Mother Witch, and that's the only way it actually happens. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to get another beautiful log rocket on top of the tower. Wallace now leading by 800 HP. And I mean, you're going to be able to get chip damage, but it's way too late to swap lanes, obviously. And at this point, because Wallace has the 400 HP advantage, he can basically just do Mother Witch and then Miner and then Rocket for the rest of this game. And I don't think Ryley has the response for that.
He's trying to make something happen with a double Dark Prince play and the Evo Skeleton Barrel. Evo Icebird's in cycle though, as well as with a Tesla and a log. And Ryley's he's shaking his head. He's probably wondering what he's supposed to do. And I don't know. I don't have an answer for you, man. This is looking brutal right now. Well, I mean, like you said, I think Wallace can really cinch this up with just some solid defense, some good Mother Witch placements, and the Skeleton Barrel is not gonna be able to make it there.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like Wallace is over defending because he knows that he doesn't need to worry about it. It doesn't really matter about interactions at this point. You just got to place cards down on the map, and then that should really be enough.
Double Dark Prince once again. Ryley trying to make it happen. Mother Witch does get protected by the skeletons, and then she protects herself with her own piggies. The Evo Tesla at the bridge just wipes out every single skeleton. And Wallace, big celebration. He knows he's got the win. Taking down Ryley, continuing on to be our next quarterfinalist and sending Ryley to the lower bracket.